The war between humanity and the O'Reilly Dominion had lasted 7 brutal years. Entire star systems were scorched, fleets wiped from the galaxy, and alliances shattered like glass under relentless pressure. By the final year, only one sector remained contested, Sigma Rift, a turbulent region of drifting nebulae and fractured planets. Sergeant Cade Rylan, decorated war veteran of the United Terran Marines, stood among the scarred survivors of his unit as the ceasefire was announced. They expected celebration, medals, maybe just a quiet return home. Instead, they were told there would be a ceremony of exchange aboard the flagship Helios Crown, ritual tradition apparently required by the O'Reilly culture to finalize peace. Most soldiers didn't care about the details. They just wanted to go home. Cade only wanted silence. He had fought on 3 front lines, lost friends, and earned scars that had nothing to do with flesh. If peace meant never holding a rifle again, he welcomed it. He didn't even bother fixing his torn uniform before boarding the ship for the ceremony. The Hall of Accord was enormous, crystal arches rising like frozen thunder, banners of both factions intertwined. Human commanders stood opposite O'Reilly nobles. Cade expected the usual diplomatic speeches. He didn't expect his name to be called. Sergeant Cade Rylan, step forward. He froze. The O'Reilly general, a towering 6-armed being plated in silver armor, approached. Between 2 guards stood a smaller figure, slender, elegant, wearing flowing armor that pulsed like liquid starlight. Her eyes glowed violet, her hair silver-white like moonlight. She was clearly young, and clearly important. Gasps spread across the room. Someone whispered, "That's Princess Erin." Before Cade could understand anything, the O'Reilly general spoke loudly. "As a symbol of trust and unity between our peoples, the royal house gifts Princess Erin, protector and scholar, to the soldier who spared thousands of our young during the siege of Valaris." Cade's mind went blank. Gift? A person gifted to him? He took a step back, furious. "I didn't fight 7 years just to..." But his voice died as Princess Erin spoke, soft, strong, and not afraid. "It is not ownership. It is bonding." Her words were clear, human-accented. She had learned their language. A bond guardian is given to the one our culture owes life to. You saved our academy dome instead of destroying it. That decision preserved 10 generations of my people. You are recognized as the one worthy of trust. So that was it. During the siege 3 years ago, he'd overridden orders to fire on a building that housed O'Reilly youth. He'd been reprimanded, not praised. To him, it was simply the one act his conscience refused to betray. Now that act had come full circle in a way he never imagined. Princess Erin bowed, not submissive, but respectful. "I choose this. I will walk where you walk. I will protect where you protect. I will learn the way of your people as you once respected the way of mine." Every human eye in the hall stared at Cade. He swallowed, overwhelmed. But he recognized sincerity when he saw it. She was not being forced. She was fulfilling her culture's promise. So he answered the only way that didn't violate her dignity. "I accept your bond as an ally, not as property." Her expression changed, relief, gratitude, and something gentle he couldn't define. And so the fate of 2 worlds was sealed through 2 warriors who never wanted war in the first place. Middle, the princess and the soldier. The transition back to normal life wasn't smooth. Earth viewed Erin with fascination and fear. Journalists stalked them. The military tried to study her. Politicians tried to use her as diplomatic leverage. Through it all, she stayed close to Cade, not because she had to, but because she trusted him. She studied human languages, history, and art. She helped veterans calm their trauma with ancient O'Reilly meditations. She even learned Terran martial arts, just so she and Cade could spar as equals. Only in private did she admit the truth. Our people may look proud, but our peace is fragile. If anything threatens it, my bond with you becomes our bridge. Cade understood then. She wasn't a prize. She was a peacekeeper. Months passed. Their dynamic, once formal, became effortless. They teased each other, trained together, shared meals, and argued about music. She liked ambient starlight harmonics. He favored late-century rock. But their peace shattered the night the Helios Crown sent a distress transmission. The O'Reilly homeworld was under attack from a splinter faction rejecting peace. Princess Erin stood in the apartment doorway, breathing hard, her armor already forming across her body like living crystal. I must return. Cade didn't hesitate. I'm coming with you. She stared in surprise. You owe us nothing. He gripped his old dog tags and shook his head. Maybe, but I owe you. War returns, and so do old wounds. The moment the shuttle worm jumped into O'Reilly space, they saw flames. The city spire of Valaris, the place Cade had once spared, was under siege. Erin and Cade landed near the ruins of the Academy Dome he had refused to destroy during the war. Now it was collapsing. Erin's voice trembled, not with fear, but with heartbreak. They would destroy the children to erase peace. Cade's fists tightened. Not while we're here. Together, they fought through the chaos. Erin with psionic crystal blades, Cade with pulse rifles and tactical skill. He had never fought beside someone whose every movement synced naturally with his own, like their instincts were built to complement each other. As they reached the Academy bunker, a massive explosion threw Erin backward. Her armor cracked, her breathing broke. Cade shielded her with his own body until the firestorm passed. She tried to push him away. Save the dome. I am not the priority. He looked her straight in the eyes. You're wrong. Peace doesn't happen because we save buildings. It happens because we save people. She froze, not physically, but emotionally. In that moment, she finally understood why humanity confused and inspired her. Why he confused and inspired her. Cade lifted her to her feet, and together they stormed the bunker's gates, fighting until they reached the children inside. A surviving O'Reilly Prime commander addressed both of them. Your bond is the proof our peace lives. Erin and Cade stood before the frightened young ones, war-torn, bloodied, exhausted, but alive. And the battle turned. Across the city, O'Reilly soldiers heard that the princess was defending the academy alongside a human warrior. Those who doubted peace stopped. Those who wanted unity rallied. The splinter faction retreated. The war was over again. But this time, the peace was earned with 2 lives, not treaties. Ending, the bond fulfilled. A month later, aboard a restored Valaris sky temple, a new treaty ceremony was held, not between governments, but between peoples. Erin and Cade stood before thousands, O'Reilly and human, side by side. An ambassador asked, "What is the nature of your bond now?" Erin answered first. He was given to me as duty, but he stands beside me by choice. Then she looked at Cade, hope flickering behind her warrior's composure. He spoke without hesitation. She was introduced to me as a gift, but she became my equal, my shield, and the only reason I believe peace is possible. Erin's armor dissolved into ceremonial starlight fabric, and she extended her hand, not as a princess, not as a soldier, but as someone who trusted him completely. Cade took her hand while thousands cheered. Their bond, once misunderstood as ownership, became the foundation of the galaxy's most unexpected alliance. That night, Under the twin moons of Aurelia, Aaron whispered with quiet certainty, "The war made us enemies. Honor made us allies. But it was choice that made us family." Cade didn't argue. For the first time since the war began, he felt whole.